how do we combat this?
This is some iRobot shit. The description of this episode will be generated by ChatGPT. We are back. Shout out to our sponsors this week. Deer Park. Shout out to Gabriella. There was a little confusion with the payment from Gabriella last time.
Oh no, what happened?
She's just been a little difficult, but she is sending the cases of the Deer Park 100% natural spring water. We do appreciate that. Keep it coming. Keep the sponsors going. We love you, Gabriella.
Yo, what is the difference between natural spring, purified? Like, I feel like there's too many types of water.
I'm so glad you asked, because I actually did a deep dive of this. There's a guy, I found him on TikTok. He's on YouTube and stuff too. He's like a German guy, hilarious looking dude. He calls himself the water sommelier. He's already tight.
We're just making shit up at this point.
No, he drinks water like it's fine wine. He's like a water snob, but he's dope.
He's an elitist.
He's a water elitist, but he's dope. He highlights the difference. So any bottled water basically that says purified water, if it's purified water, which includes some of the famous, some of the top brands, you'd be surprised. They're literally taking tap water. It's municipal, locally, like, you know, whatever, tap water. They're getting it out of their sink.
From the city of Atlanta.
Processing the shit out of it and bottling it up and using some crazy marketing techniques, you know, like pH level, this and that, and tricking people into spending ridiculous amounts of money on processed tap water. So shout out to Deer Park for being a 100% natural spring water. What you guys actually want is a water from a naturally sourced location, like a spring, or like Liquid Death is like a mountain water. It's from, you know, nature. And Fiji is from wherever in the Fiji Islands and stuff. So smart water and like, yeah, Essentia, all that shit's bullshit, man. It's crazy.
How much of you drinking a bottled water is to get the higher quality of H2O? Or how much of it is to have the convenience of it being in a bottle? Because I catch myself I would borderline put some tap water in the motherfucking plastic bottle just to be able to like take it on the go, have the, you know, screw on lid, right?
Some of it is definitely the convenience. Yeah. And like I talk all this shit and I can't really tell much of a difference.
Yeah, because, you know, as much as we're pumping up our sponsor, Deer Park, people argue that Deer Park tastes like ass in comparison. So it's like.
But like, how different does it really taste though? I don't know. I just don't like feeling like I'm falling victim to some marketing scheme.
I'd love to do a taste test on people.
We should do a blind taste test.
Yeah, like tap water versus, you know, the elitist of elite.
Yeah.
Bottled water.
Yes.
Versus, you know, whatever, the shitty bottled water, right?
I feel like that would be pretty good content.
So other than the different types of water, Henry, what else has been going on in your world this week?
Pretty much just the water. No, I'm playing.
He's been taste testing hella water this week.
Hella. Yeah. No, definitely one of the biggest things I've been seeing that's super intriguing to me is the ChatGPT.
Oh, gosh.
Generative AI.
I've seen so much of this name. I have no clue what it is. Please enlighten me. What the fuck is ChatGPT?
Yeah, let's talk about it, man. So there's a company called OpenAI. Elon was one of the original founders.
Of course he was.
I think he's just a donor advisor now. But yeah, of course he fucking was. But it's the same company that was behind DALL-E, which did the AI generative artwork that a lot of people were getting into. Remember like 6 months to a year ago, people were doing like type in, you know, astronaut riding a horse with a basketball. And it would give you crazy like pictures.
It had graphic designers heated.
Yeah. So this is like the next level.
Which like is interesting because I also saw like some graphic designer friends that were essentially like, stop fighting AI.
For sure.
Also, right? Like if you're a graphic artist, it makes your fucking job easier. Like still someone's going to want to like have your taste level, right? Like you still have to have the human element to it potentially. So stop fighting it, embrace it. Just like companies that fought e-commerce for so long. Oh, we're never going to sell our shit online. They're closing retail storefronts right and left now. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's something to be said about like not fighting technology and just figuring out a way for you to use it, right? To still do what you love. You know what I mean?
There's a quote from one of the guys that was involved in the project, I think, who said like, you can either be the blacksmith who's like pissed that no one's buying horseshoes anymore, or you can like, get on board and start, promote, getting into the new thing, even though some people are going to be against it. So I think it is dangerous for some people. And what this new thing is, it's more text based. You type in any question. I mean, people are comparing it to like Google. It can take over Google. Why would you Google something when you could just be like, what you can ask it anything, and it gives you like a human-like response that is generated on the spot. It's not copy pasted from anything. It sounds like a person, and it's incredibly detailed, and the shit it can do is unbelievable. I mean,
but you got to think that Google has their eye on this type of shit. I mean, you've got to think that like if it's possible, they're going to be able to do this with a Google search, right?
It's Google, so, they're not stupid. They obviously see what's going on. I'm sure they have some kind of version of this in the background, but this is kind of the first one that's like free to use. Anyone can sign up. They got 1 million users in 5 days.
Wow.
Which, just for perspective, it took Instagram like 2 years to get 1 million users. Snapchat took like a year.
Is it a free platform though?
It's free to sign up right now. People are speculating that it could turn into like a pay to query kind of thing in the future.
Give me some examples of like what you've done so far on this platform. I can only imagine. Please enlighten me.
I follow a lot of music people, obviously. They're using it to be like, write a Juice WRLD hook. You know what I mean? And it will writes a hook in the style of Juice WRLD kind of thing. And then they'll like put it in another thing that that puts text to speech in this person's voice. And they're making like whole fake fucking AI generated songs.
That scares me. That
Crazy.
right there scares me because
just to start,
that's gonna like, that can put people in some dangerous situations of like, Henry said some fucked up shit. Listen to what he said.
Deepfakes. No, the deepfake argument is very real because it's going to get harder and harder to distinguish.
That's a serious concern.
It is. No,
but I'm now wondering, like, how do we combat this?
OpenAI claims they're trying to be, one of their mission statements is like to harness AI in the way that benefits humanity the most. So they are very aware
of the dangers that this presents.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is some iRobot shit, potentially.
Yeah.
And just to keep going on some of the shit I've seen, like.
Speaking of, George Jetson, I think, was born in this year, by the way.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, the Jetsons thought that 2022 was so fucking far away when it was made.
Yeah.
And that there would be flying cars and crazy.
We're not that far.
No, but like this sounds fucking nuts.
It is some futuristic space level shit. So I've seen like TikToks of kids putting in just test answers. Like, what is the answer? Here's the question. Here are the possible choices. And it's like, it'll say like, here, this is how you figure this out. And give you a nice explanation. It sounds like a human typed it out, and then tell you which the correct answer is. So kids are obviously using this to like cheat on homework and shit already.
Wow.
That's just one thing. Coding.
But I feel like kids cheating on homework was so like, I wish I would have had fucking Google at my disposal. Like I'm like dating myself at this point, but like Google was entering the equation like at a really significant level, like towards the latter part of my like education. I would say.
We had some shortcuts, but not like this.
Yeah, this is next level.
This is type in the question. It tells you how to solve it and what the answer is.
Yeah. So like take a intense math problem where you have to like show your work. I'm assuming this
shows the work.
Yeah.
And
that's
write an essay about this topic. Boom. Write a YouTube description.
And to your point, it's not copying and pasting. It says
it's generative AI. It's so making it fresh. It's brand new on the spot in the style of a human. It's terrifying. So what I'm going to do is the description for this episode, I'm going to type in, write a description for a podcast episode where we talked about this topic and this topic. The description of this episode will be generated by ChatGPT just to show y'all what the fuck happens. I mean, it does crazy shit like copywriting, and people are talking about journalism could go out, like journalists could go out of business because it comes up with, it can understand what a subject is. It can figure out how to like summarize it.
Yeah. It goes back to the point of like, I don't know how quickly this is going to happen, but every job or a lot of jobs are going to be threatened by technology. And they have been over the last, decades, right? As technologies progress. So I do wonder, like, I guess the people whose jobs are being threatened by this type of technology are going to have to figure out how to work in technology. I mean, that's like where all the jobs are heading. Like you need to figure out a way to live in the digital like tech space to really exist, right? And I think that, you know, we live in the music world, and I do think that it's scary what even AI and shit is doing in music.
100%. Absolutely.
You know, labels have come up with these like AI artists.
That guy failed miserably,
But
though,
I'm just
it
saying,
was just the first one.
It was a hint at what's to come.
Yeah. Imagine, in 5 years.
They're not gonna fail.
No.
If they know what the recipe is based on fuck tons of data of what a hit record, sounds like, they're gonna be able to make hit records.
I think about the Black Mirror episode with Miley Cyrus, where her aunt like sabotages her and like poisons her or whatever, but they have all this technology and her voice, so they can like make songs with her.
She's like
without her.
She's like locked up, and
They get like a clone of her, and they can make music with her voice, and they just have a robot of her like performing.
Yeah,
and they don't need the real bitch. Fucking who cares about this bitch? Put her away.
That's crazy.
She's like bitching and wants to like grow and develop as an artist.
Yeah.
No, give the people what they want with this robot.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
So speaking of, performing artists, right? I saw something interesting, and we've talked about this before just in our own little circles, right? Of just we're music nerds. So North Ave Jax, who's signed to LVRN.
Shout out Jax.
Super dope artist, in my opinion. He has been on tour with Lil TJ.
Shout out TJ as well.
Well, we didn't shout out
the
Lil
amount
TJ.
of hate we got for not drafting TJ in our Lil Rappers draft. Holy shit.
Yeah.
TikTok exploded on that one.
TJ's fan base is strong.
We learned that firsthand.
We got abused by the TJ.
No fucking TJ?
Yeah.
What's wrong with y'all?
Yeah. I would say of the hundreds and hundreds of comments that we got, the majority had to have been like, the fact that Lil TJ wasn't included in this list is like a sin. You know.
Well, you did take Pump.
We don't need to go through my draft here on this One More Time show episode. But the
He took Pump.
The point I was trying to make is that the amount of pressure that comes when you're an opening act for an artist like a Lil TJ who has a cult diehard fan base who is there specifically for one fucking reason only, and that is to see Lil TJ hit the fucking stage.
So they're not fucking with Jax.
They're not fucking with Jax, bro. And Jax is doing something interesting where he's almost like playing into it online. So he's like posting videos of like Chicago wasn't fucking with me, but like
I think that's smart.
He's telling this story of like, keep going, because then he did have like pockets of like some fans were obviously there to see him. He does have fans, obviously, right? And so some were there to see him. So he kind of like showcased them and like how they mean the world. He's doing a great job, and LVRN is the greatest marketer, led company out there pretty much, right? So if anyone knows how to spin a story, it's going to be LVRN.
Shout out Love Renaissance.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out those guys.
Do you think it was just maybe a bad pairing?
That was going to be my question to you. I'm not hella familiar, clearly, because I didn't pick him in my draft of Lil rappers.
They're not that similar. I don't know. They're both young and kind of like wavy, but
Jax is white.
Okay.
No, but like just in general, I thought that it was interesting, the amount of pressure that comes with, I think we talked about this with Wiley from Atlanta, right? He opening up for Grip.
Yep.
And like the amount of people that when they see openers come on, specifically him he was talking about, they're heading to the bar to get a drink, right? They're conversing amongst themselves. They're not paying attention to you. They don't give a fuck about you because they didn't buy the ticket to see you. There's, of course, select music lovers that want to discover new acts. They want to be tapped in with like who's on the bill, whatever, right? But that sadly is probably a very like small fraction of the people that are in attendance. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So it was just wild to like see that firsthand of like, they're not reacting to Jax really at all, bro. Like they're like, it's like painfully awkward to watch the TikToks that Jax is posting.
Did any like TJ chants break out? That's the worst when they start chanting for the main act.
I didn't do a deep enough dive to know if that type of like, shit happened, to be honest. But just in general, I don't know. That shit just like gave me anxiety of just like, fuck.
I like that he's playing into it though. I think that's the only move you have. Like you're not going to quit the tour. Assumingly he's getting paid, and even if, a small fraction of the people are there to see him, you're still serving them. So it's like, you got to finish the tour. So how do you, combat the content that's coming, maybe that, you know, people are going to trash you. You kind of play into it, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, because I do think that even if he can capitalize, I mean, because, you know, they're playing small theaters and stuff, right? So it's got to be 1,000 cap venues, 2,000 cap, like tabernacle types, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Even if he capitalizes on a very small percentage of the people in attendance to become fans of his, right? Like, oh, like, you know, this is pretty cool. Like, this dude's doing his thing, you know, whatever. Like, I fuck with this, right? That's a win.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like all you can ask for really when you're going on tour with, you know, someone like a Lil TJ. But it more brought back the memories of like, oh my God, Lil TJ's fans are like hardcore. Like they don't fuck with anyone but Lil TJ.
This new generation seems very selective. Like when they like someone, they like someone. You know what I mean? Which could be good or bad, I guess, as an artist.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For sure. So you mentioned Elon as like an early, I guess, investor / now advisor of, you know, ChatGPT and what's the name of the company?
OpenAI,
right? There's been like so much more drama, I feel like, about him and Twitter, right? Like he posted
the poll is the crazy shit.
He posted a tweet poll that was essentially like, should I step down as CEO of Twitter?
And I will abide by the results.
Like, what a fucking guy, man. So the results were, yes, you should step down.
57 to 43 or something like
which,
that.
you know, close race, but like, who do you think actually... The fact that, I mean, he wanted people that are crazier than him. He's like, the way he's handling it still is just like so ratchet, bro. I mean,
for me, I think he, you know, he's done this before. He's a smart guy. He bought this company for $44 billion. He's obviously not just leaving it in the hands of a poll.
What do you think the actual plan is?
On a platform where there's so many bots too. Like, you know how many bots said no? Like, I think the majority, I think in reality, 75% of people would be fine with him staying, but the bots skew that shit. So he knew he was going to get a CEO. Tesla stock is in the fucking tank. I don't know if you've seen Tesla stock lately. He needs to focus on that. It's unbelievably low.
Is it because of this like sidebar shit that's going on?
It's the overall economy is trash. Everything's down. There's a lot of macro factors, recession looming.
But you got to think that him acting a fool.
He's
been doing that, I guess, right?
He's Elon, bro. Yeah, I don't think he's always been Elon. Like, you know who he is. But in my opinion, he's done shit like this before. He already was going to be stepping down. He's going to be an owner. He's still going to own the shit. Some people don't understand. He's not selling the company. He's just going to appoint a CEO when he finds one. He probably already has one in mind. He's talking about, like, oh, I got to find someone. Probably has someone already lined up. This was probably the plan all along.
Do you think he's that calculated?
I do.
Really?
Dude, this guy makes rockets. He's pretty calculated.
Yeah, but that's calculated in a different way than like, I don't know. I guess he is somewhat of like a marketing and branding genius as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You think he just put the poll up with no plan? Like, whatever the people want. He had an idea.
I just don't know if he actually will abide by it though. You know what I mean? Like,
he will. He's done it before. Like, so when he got doxxed, you know, the people like revealed his location and it was a whole thing. And he banned a lot of people from Twitter who had doxxed him. And then people were pressuring him to unban them. And he, you know, was feeling the pressure and he probably realized like, okay, I probably should unban these people because of all the pressure. But he put up a poll saying, should I unban them now or in 7 days or something like that? And everyone, you know, I think it was like 57%, the same result said unban them now. So he did. But I think he was already feeling the pressure to do that. So a poll is just kind of a way to seem like you're giving the people control when he's kind of already made a decision. You know, It's a little shady, but it's smart too.
And if you own the company, can't you manipulate the results of the poll?
That's a good question. I mean, he's super anti-bot. You know, he's been trying to clean up the bots, but it can't be hard for him to make some bots at the same time.
Like, I think I want these results to be 57% to 43%.
Okay,
boom,
you own
click,
the company.
click.
That can't be that hard for sure.
Yeah. So what else has been going on?
I thought this was pretty funny. Afroman.
Wait. Rewind that back. Who?
Our favorite
Mr. Colt 45 himself.
Colt 45 and 2 zigzags. Because I got high, Afroman. and this is a direct quote, said he's running for president in 2020 fro.
Get the fuck out of here.
And we don't
Bro, this is the greatest publicity stunt.
We don't have to unpack this for too long. He's not going to win. It's ridiculous.
No one's talked about Afroman
in a long time.
10 years.
He had a 30-second video just announcing it. I assume it's real, but like I think his whole platform is like, I'm gonna legalize weed everywhere. And that's it. Like that's his only policy.
And he's calling 2024 2020 fro.
2020 fro.
Wow.
And yeah, you know, I forgot to vote for him because I got high. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the
on that note, shout out our sponsors at Deer Park Water. It's all natural spring, 100%.
It's from a naturally sourced location. Don't buy highly processed tap water. Just drink tap water or just purify it your fucking self. Get a Brita filter.
As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next week, Henry, what are we doing?
We're getting out of here.
We're getting out of here.
Peace.
Peace.
Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time. Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that